Okay, we're good.
All right.
Cookie?
1 second. I wasn't ready. Okay.
Off to a good start already.
So, hello everyone. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons again. We are starting a new session, and I would actually like the players to do a recap if that is fine with them. I offered them some small reward, and yeah, we'll see what they remember and what was important to them.
Okay, I will go first. Unless we're not taking turns. Are we planning on taking
I have
turns?
an idea.
You can.
Can we roll initiative for a turn order on that?
Oh yeah, that sounds great to me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are we going to be able to do that? Because we don't have a token to click on.
Right?
Oh, no, it'll...
Oh, right.
Okay, well, I mean... it.
You don't
Okay.
need a token. I mean, I can enter them per hand, or we can just look at the chat and
Alright, well,
deduce
initiative,
from
right?
there. Yeah.
Alright, how bad is that?
Top middle-ish of your screen there, Pers.
Oh, apparently I'm in the lead so far. Huzzah!
Hooray!
So that makes sense.
Oh, you gotta open up your character sheet. If
Oh,
you haven't already.
I gotta open my character sheet. Okay.
Yep.
And do what?
Click on the word initiative. It's like top middle. It's right just above your hit points. There you go.
Oh, great. So,
Alright.
Shara begins.
Damn it!
So I entered the town and I was talking to the mine owners, and we concluded our talk, and I went to head toward the inn because he told me that I could get a room there, when all of a sudden all these rats started running at me and climbing me, and so I screamed, and the next thing I know, the inn door flies open and a huge guy comes out. And
Cut. Thank you. I would like to continue with the next person, otherwise I don't think we get all the people in.
Okay, so after she gets into the tavern, I think at that point I'm already there. I talked to the barkeep, asked for some food, and was waiting for it when we heard a loud screech. And Elnira was like, "What?" And then Barbas was like bolting all the way out there to go see what was going on. Next.
Quaz Chakri lost giant starstone. Come to place of mini stone. Meet many new people. And then goes bites big orc mean. And then hides in room with mini shinies.
Barbas?
Okay. We, in my journeys of going around helping people in my little pilgrimage, came across a dwarven settlement in a cave. And there was an inn here, and met a few nice companions. Definitely no dogs. That's in my ambient sound, unfortunately. And yeah, there was rats. We ended up fighting some orcs. After that, we ended up reporting to the town guard, so we didn't have to explain why there was a big mess. The lizard man may have decided to make a bit of a mess, and you know, it was kind of a very memorable, if graphic, disgusting kind of experience, because he was kind of covered in orc remains.
Ew.
And then the guards ended up paying for our night's lodging at the inn, and Bardus ended up getting himself a little tea and headed upstairs, and that was kind of, I think, where we pretty much left things off after the scuffle with the orcs.
I agree. We should start with the morning. It is everyone wakes up by their normal schedule. Wait, I have questions. Before we start, I have questions.
I might have
wait-
answers.
Wait, I have a question for you too. But first, Quastix Cray, how long have you lived among humans? How accustomed are you to smooth skins.
Well,
Oh, the civilization in general?
when you left Chris Chicory, he was curled up underneath the bed, so he did not really know the concept of a bed. So his little peepers are fixated on the door. Other than that, his interactions with all the people in the town was pretty much poking and tugging and smacking around, trying to get attention. He's got very poor social skills.
Okay, so the answer to my question was he slept very badly. It was not smooth like the ground he usually sleeps on, and way too hard, way too, yeah,
Not covered in bugs that he could eat.
exactly.
No late night snacks for Chris Chicory.
My Elnira is quite comfortable in some capacity of civilization because, like, yeah, she's from a gnome population where it's like a encampment of barbarian gnomes, which is a little weird, but she, in her adventures while traveling, has learned some human concepts, like she knows a bed is for sleeping.
Yeah.
But she also can, build a nest in trees and build a bed in a tree, not just on the dirt. So, I feel like she's got some normalcy when it comes to, like, human behaviors and human customs. When it comes to,
Right.
like, civilization, she also knows how gnomes work and their civilization works, but outside of that, she's open-minded to learning.
Right. I had actually a different question for you, which was, what terrible story have you heard about deep gnomes?
Deep gnomes,
Mm-hmm.
that they're like the all to be all when it comes to barbarians, that they're hostile.
They are kind of like, do you know what a drow elf is? They're,
I'm very rusty. Could you elaborate for the
It-
viewers?
it is the corrupted underground version of that race. Well, whereas corrupted might be the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
Okay. So they're
You can think on this, and I'll ask a different question to a different
Okay.
person first.
all right.
Shara, you said
Shara.
you're Shara. Sorry.
Yeah.
You were a scout for your family. How big is that family actually? Is it just father, mother, and children, or is it extended family? Is it actually like a clan?
It's a very extended family. It is more like a clan, but we are all related.
Mhm.
We have 4 different caravan groups that go out different directions, and each has a scout, and I'm with one. And basically, we're very used to talking with strangers. I'm very personable to talking with everybody,
Mhm.
and I'm very good at listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the one that I am scouting for, there's my brother and my uncle and their wives.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. And Bardus, could you name the god that you pray to and his high concept, or their high concept, I should say?
Yeah, I could do that. I would say probably more than anything, his particular god would probably be Ilmater. Also known
Okay.
as the Cry God.
I don't know that one.
He is all about like forgiveness and endurance. So he doesn't generally like, and being cruel unnecessarily or causing suffering and, that kind of thing. He's usually it's kind of like the alignment of Ilmater is like lawful good.
Could you write the name in the chat because I'm trying to look it up and...
Oh, I could just send you a link.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, I'll just send you that. I'm not going to lie. I went easy mode on this one. I have a paladin I play on Sundays that is a paladin of Ilmater.
It's fine.
So I went with a
Oh,
deity I
okay.
kind of know little about.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
Right, okay. So you all awaken at your usual times. When is that? Who of you would think, or who awakens earliest, by your opinions?
I think it would probably, at least for my dude gets up before dawn.
Okay.
I could see her seeing if the barkeep is already down, so that I could, do the trade of herbs and, ask her questions in regards to, stuff along those lines.
Right.
Because that
Um,
was also something that my dude brought up before bed last night, but it was like super
Right.
late.
I'm a late sleeper.
Okay.
Unless
Oh.
I'm out in the wilderness.
Mhm.
Yeah, Bartus probably wouldn't have slept in all that great. I mean, it would have been, on his bedroll on the floor because he's too big for most inns. But he probably would have been somewhat one of the earlier risers. He just would be, a little sore and groggy in the morning.
Did I have a window?
Yes.
So whenever that sun peeks through that window, it's a heat
The
thing.
cave.
You're in a cave. Guess we're gonna come and check on you eventually.
Yeah.
It's okay. The
Well-
glowing shrooms are his light source.
Well, there will be sunlight in here. It's just diluted. It's not as strong in here.
I forget we're in a giant cave.
It's
Yeah, I
fine.
kind of forgot temporarily.
It
It's
just messes
called-
with the concept of time.
It's called deep dwelling for a reason.
Yeah,
And
this
we're
is true.
in the Sapphire Inn.
That is true.
Yep.
So, Anara, when you go down the stairs, you see a very young man standing behind the bar and is bringing out foodstuffs while the kitchen is glowing from the inside, I want to say.
Glowing from the inside, you say.
Yeah.
So it's
The
like the
kitchen is
lights are
active.
on and okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I take a
But-
big old whiff of the air, trying to decipher what herbs, what spices, what they're cooking.
You get the first smell that you get is ground coffee beans.
That's about right.
The next one is spices. Like whatever is being prepared there is probably pretty spicy.
Curry.
For example.
So, I walk up to the guy behind the counter and say good morning. I ask if the barkeep from last night, if she is awake or available for me to talk to her.
Oh, Mom's not up yet, but she will soon.
Okay. Can I have a menu about what's available currently for breakfast outside of the glorious coffee that I smell?
Yeah, he just seems to have several what's the word? Like glasses or something of coffee behind the bar, and he just hands you one. Mugs is the word. Damn.
Cultural differences.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. He just gives you a little rundown. He has the things memorized, and he does not. There's no need for such a thing. The list is short.
All right.
It's
Well,
basically
I'd like one of whatever is your favorite, and I'd like an extra mug of coffee. But I want it to be given to the crap, Barbas. Do you know
To
who
the crab?
Barbas is? No, to Barbas.
um
Is he a tiefling?
a tiefling.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember
I
what
have
his
not
race
seen a
is
tiefling
called.
here. I'm sorry.
He's a
This is
giant.
so much funnier. Don't tell him. Don't tell anybody.
I just imagine this gnome fumbling over like.
I don't know what type of creature he is, but he was the big troll guy that was hanging out with me yesterday.
He seems to think. Could he have been a furball?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, yeah. I can absolutely give a coffee to the furball. Sure.
Yes, I would like to pay for his coffee.
I
And the
think your stuff is paid for.
oh, okay. Well, thanks.
I mean,
I don't know if food
That's
was
what I've been told.
included. I didn't know food was included in the reward from the guards for helping yesterday. I was not awares. So thank you.
he nods, shrugs a bit. You're welcome. I didn't pay for it.
I laugh and pull out my little journal book that I have that I've scribbled designs of some of the herbs and spices that I've encountered on my journey. And I'm just waiting for the coffee, the food, and to see who else, starts moving around upstairs.
Well, he handed you the coffee, so
Oh.
you wouldn't need to wait for that. But yeah.
I will take a deep sip of my coffee and then proceed to do everything else that I said I was going to do.
So the next person would be Bardis, I think.
All right. Yep. So Bardis would have packed up all his stuff in his room and taken a few minutes to kind of get everything sort of neatly arranged again, because he's not exactly the sort that's going to make anything more difficult for the, the servants or whoever they have on staff that's tidying up the rooms. And after making sure everything's all settled, he'd, lumber his way downstairs, this time being careful not to hit his head on any low arches. And, just lumbering down all 8 feet of them, and be kind of walking around and just checking out to see. I'm assuming, there's probably a few patrons in here. It's early morning, probably
Yeah.
having their breakfast and workers and all that.
Exactly.
And,
Well, there's one obvious family that is eating their breakfast, and another group of adventurers.
Oh!
And
I-
you see Alnera.
Okay.
Patiently waiting with an extra cup of coffee just for you.
Oh. Bardis would come
Hey
over
there.
to,
Here's some coffee.
oh! Oh, that's so thoughtful. And he'd take the tankard of coffee or the mug and would, look down at it, a little uncertain because he actually drinks tea, and then he would he would have some of the coffee and be like, "Oh, thank you. Huh, this is kind of nice." And then he just kind of look over at the table where the adventurers are. I was like, wonder past experience. Usually a town that sometimes has adventurers, sometimes there's some going on. I wonder if you know what? Do you mind if I go over and just kind of strike up a conversation with them?
I'm rather curious myself. If you don't mind the company, I'll happily join you.
No, not at all. Yeah, so we'll head over there. I'll go over. I'm assuming they're at a table.
Yeah, they are at one table.
Okay.
It's 3 people.
Okay.
2 human men and 1 orc. Not orc, sorry, dwarf. Almost
Okay.
the same thing.
Oh, absolutely. I'm kind of glad you corrected that because of my icebreaker. So at that point, I would actually approach the table. I'd assume that the dwarf's actually a local. I'd be like, "Oh, did you guys? Did you hear about? Were you around during the excitement last night with the rats and the orcs and the guards and all that?"
One of the humans perks up and looks at you. Nah, we were too late. It's a shame. We could have slain a few orcs. It was fun. He cracks his knuckles.
There was only a couple of them. It's not really anything, but it's good to know that you would have, yeah, I'm just kind of traveling by, and I just happened to notice that you guys, don't really look like you're workers or anything. So I kind of thought, hey, I may as well come over and see what's going on. See if you were here, anything to do with the orcs.
Yeah, I know. Once again, we saw the mess outside when we came in here. We came with the last caravan, actually. Had some foodstuffs and some... no, foodstuffs is what we had. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be leaving with the next caravan full of metal.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay. Yeah. Well, this is nice meeting you guys. If any of you end up kind of getting hurt while you're here, just come and ask for me. I guess I can help aside for some of the healers.
Mighty nice of you.
Yeah,
We might.
it's what I do, and he just kind of has some more of his coffee, doing his best to seem like he's enjoying it, and then just decides to just down it as quickly as he can, and just brings it over to the bar and deposits the coffee to the barkeep, and he's just like, all right, well, well, it's nice meeting you guys, and I think I'm gonna go check on the other two we met last night. I don't know how you wanted to do this. Did you want to flip a coin on who has to go to the one room?
I will go
where...
pay the beautiful kitty lady a visit.
That's fair. I can.
You two seem to get along pretty well for the most part. She playfully giggles.
Yeah. Oh,
The
absolutely.
guy with just Ed. Yeah, you probably get back to your people. Don't split the party, as they say.
All right.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
So my my Nomi girl goes up to the barkeep and asks for a bag of tea leaves.
Sure.
How much?
Yeah. He isn't sure. Like, he doesn't. He has to think if that would have been included in the price, and then decides what the heck, and just gives you a little pouch full. Like, if you have your hand open but in a claw, that pouch would fit in there.
Beautiful. Thank you. Proceeds to leave a gold coin on the counter for him, and walks away
Oh.
to go say hi
He
to the
seems
pretty
relieved.
cat lady.
Alright, so Bardus is gonna head upstairs. He's gonna kind of stare longingly at that door. And just wonder if he needs to get his mace and his shield out. He just kind of hesitates and then just eventually gently knocks on the door.
There's the sound of scratching claws and scuttling from behind it.
We have food downstairs. It's paid for.
The scratching intensifies.
You got the little thing that's on the and he'll just kind of try to like. I don't know if eventually I'll learn how to pronounce your character's name. He would try the door handle, as it were. Is it locked?
No, Grey 6 Grey wouldn't know to lock the door.
Can I
Okay, so he.
I mean, unless you disagree, bro.
I don't even know if I could reach it.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay, well, it's a door city after. Yeah, so I open it, like, oh, good, it is open.
So he just comes out and he just like randomly has coins in his hands.
Oh,
Sound effects.
you don't actually need those. I think our breakfast might be covered. I just got given a free cup of coffee.
I would start to scuttle even faster past you.
Okay. Alright, well then, Bardus would have just kind of, very briefly open up the door all the way and examine the room to see if it got trashed overnight.
I would say that the pillow is completely destroyed, assuming it's made out of straw, and it's just littered everywhere across the room. There's lots of claw marks underneath the bed too.
Okay, well, he wouldn't have seen under the bed because it was kind of more of a cursory glance. All right, well, guess I'll be apologizing to somebody about that later. And he just kind of closed the door, and he'd head downstairs so he could keep an eye on him.
So, Nira watches, like, tries to get out of the way, seeing, I don't know how to pronounce your lizard man's name. I'm gonna call him Q. Moves out of the way so Q can, like, scuttle his little ass downstairs. And I'm like, okay, he's up. Let's go see if the pretty cat woman with the good archery skills is awake. So I knock on her door.
I would assume wake Shara.
Hello, is somebody there?
Morning!
Oh.
My name's Anira. I'm the gnome from yesterday, and everybody else is kind of waking up. They got free food and coffee downstairs, if that tickles your fancy.
Let me get dressed and pack up, and I'll join you guys downstairs in a moment.
Okay. And my little Nomi walks herself back downstairs to see how much damage the lizard man has caused.
Shara. Stretches. And looks around her room and notices that the windows are still dark, and oh yes, we're inside an underground town. Okay, all right. So she packs up her stuff and she scurries down the hall and uses the facilities and splashes a little water on her hands and washes them up and wipes her face and yawns and heads back down the stairs, kind of leaning against the wall a little bit because she's still trying to get her eyes to focus and wake up. And she gets downstairs and she smells the most horrendous smell. Oh my god, it makes her stomach curl. And she kind of gags into her hand a little bit as the smell of that human invention called coffee fills the air.
Okay, so I'm going to take this as our first short break. We will do this periodically. We are about 27 minutes in, so quick potty break and we'll be right back.